Gentle giants. Piaho sees the way you have been eyeing the Ronek. Welcome, friend. This here's where we look after the town's Ronek, but I'm guessing you already knew that. I take it your being here means you've taken an interest in these gentle giants. We use them for moving weapons. We use them for moving wagons, people, just about everything, really. I don't know what we'd do without them. Say, how would you like to feed one of them? No need to be shy. Take this and try giving it to the one right here. Poor thing was sick, but they're on the mend and can do with a little food. Despite appearances, they're easily frightened. If they shy away from you, I'd recommend a quick pet and a scratch behind the ear first. The Ronek love to be pet. Give it a try and see if they won't take the feed from you after. Alright, let's try without first. Despite the delicious feed in your hand, the Ronek shies away from you. Perhaps they'll warm up to you after a quick pet. There you go. The Ronek wags its tail as it leans into your hand. It seems to have taken a liking to you. Ronek hay, a bundle of scrumptious hay for hungry Ronek. Prof. The Ronek turns its head. It seems to have no interest in your feed. Prof. Piaho, something the matter? Won't eat? Well, that's no good. They need to if they're going to get better. When all else fails, the Ronek never turn down a generous helping of corn. Oh yeah, where's the corn servant? He's usually my first quest. Oops. I guess I'll do him after this. I keep a bag in the cart there for just such an occasion. See if they won't take a bite. The Ronek can't resist a handful of fresh corn. Why not try some and see if it doesn't raise their spirits? Yes. I've betrayed the corn master by not doing his first, the corn servant. Bag of corn. I'm hungry. Ronek corn, a husk of delicious sweet corn that no Ronek can resist. Mrah, mrah. The Ronek's eyes light up as it happily munches on the corn. There you go. He's a good Ronek. Piaho. I see they've rediscovered their appetite. Good. The Ronek do so much for us. It's only right we keep them healthy and happy. Hetsaro in particular regard the Ronek with great reverence. They call the beasts Hetso, meaning leader of souls in the Hetsaro language. They look to the Ronek for guidance in a great many things, and they even migrate together. Around this time of year, you're like to find them around Lake Tori. If you'd like to learn more about the Ronek, you could do worse than pay them a visit. Whatever was bothering the Ronek seems to be gone now. It's a relief not to see them so worked up all the time. Where's my corn servant friend? gotta be here somewhere, right? There he is. Tastes like home. The corn servant's rustling can only mean one thing. How good to see you. Keeping your belly full throughout your adventures, I hope. A most terrible stomach rumbling drew me to this place, but I'm afraid I cannot yet make my presence known to the people here. Might I beg your assistance? It is an otherwise strapping Tonawaltan man in dire need of sustenance. If you would follow me. Sure. Hey, it's the bandit. Well, not bandits. Cool. Zekawa. Shame he couldn't be here to see me gun down all those soldiers. All in a day's work for the leader of the Daybreakers. Nice. Quicana. Estinian was something else. Put us to shame, if I'm to be completely honest. Still, it didn't stop the Daybreakers from doing our part. Where there's wrongs that need to be righted, we'll be there. Liwine. Zekawa and Quicana are awfully excited to finally be getting on with work. That isn't to say I'm not enthused myself, mind. But we can't just run headlong into trouble like we used to. We'll need to cooperate with the Dustwatch if we want things done right. The Dustwatch and the Daybreakers. Very well. Corn Servant. I sense something rather dark about the hunger in his belly. Hungry Tonawalta. Do you feel it? That foul wind sweeping across the wilds. Stings like this pain in my stomach every time I think about what I did. All I wanted was to get away from home and get out of inheriting that damn farm. I thought if I could find ceruleum out here, I'd strike it rich. So I used every pal to my name to buy mining equipment, and I started digging, day in and day out, hoping to find something, anything to recoup what I'd lost. All I've found since coming here is disappointment. Corn Servants. Oh dear. His stomach is gripped by deepest despair. What he needs is something to rekindle the flame of hope in his belly. This should serve. Corn roasted with the fiery passion that burns in my bosom. Hungry Tonawalta. Roasted corn? That takes me back. Ma used to cook this stuff all the time. Gods. I was such a horrible kid. Never listened, always complained. But she loved me anyway. If anything happened to me out here, she'd... I don't want to think about it. I should go home and apologize. Maybe see about working those corn crops. What a nice resolution. Corn Servants. Thank goodness we arrived when we did. The roasted corn served well to help remedy what ails him so. Left unchecked, his frustration may well have led to anger he could unleash on himself or others. With a full belly, however, he had the clarity of mind to remember what matters most to him, his family. The rumbling of bellies has ceased here in Usatawi. And so I believe it is time I took my leave. Take care, my friend. You too. Don't get eaten. So much food-related questing. taste of the wilds. Kipeshpe? Kipeshpe is in need of a traveler with a little time to spare. Can't say I've seen you here before. A traveler passing through, I take it. Before you set off, would you be willing to lend me a hand? It's a simple thing, really. Just a small delivery of nopales and tuna. Take these to Nikau Tenhe at the saloon and Sanaya by the Ronek stables. When you're finished, come back here, and I'll see if I can't put together a little something for your troubles. You won't have to go far, just to the saloon and the Ronek stables. I promise to make it worth your time. Okay. Is this the stables here? Oh, I gotta go to the saloon first. Nikau Tenhe. Welcome, friend. If you're looking to wet your whistle, I've got just the thing. In fact, I am not. I have some freshly cut tuna and freshly cut nopales. A sack of delicious tuna, freshly cut and ready to serve, and a piece of delicious nopales, freshly cut and ready to serve. Why, this is the nopales and tuna I ordered. I certainly wasn't expecting you to be the ones to deliver it. If you've never tried them, I highly recommend it. Removing the needles can be something of a hassle, but nopales can be used for all sorts of cooking. And the tuna can be used for desserts if you peel them, or squeeze to make juice. Thank you for the quick delivery. What? The hell was that? Uh-oh. I'm disconnecting. I can feel it. No! What is with the freaking... Why? Oh. Why every time I try stream? It's not like my net's down. Net's fine. Damn this game, man. Well, I know if I try to connect immediately, it's going to kick me out of the game, so I'll just give it a minute, see if that'll fix it. Then I don't have to retype my password. Pain. Australia. Alright, let's try. Don't kick me out, don't kick me out, don't kick me out. Yay! Patience. Look, I spawned on my mount. Perfect. Okay. Out to the Ronek stables, which are apparently over there. These ones, huh? At the entrance. Sanaya. Gods, am I thirsty. For me? From the Nopales farmer? His timing is impeccable as always. Water-laden as they are, nopales and tuna can be lifesavers when you're traveling about the wilds. Lucky for me, they make great feed for the Ronek as well. My thanks for the delivery, sir. You'll not want for water on your travels with nopales in your satchel. Nopales. 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 Kipeshpe. Your empty hands tell me you've finished making the deliveries. And what did you think? Seeing their elation for a delivery of fresh nopales pique your interest? Or maybe even worked up your appetite? You'll rarely find it eaten anywhere outside of the wilds, but someday I hope to share the joys of Nopales cuisine with all of Tyrell. No, the world. A far-fetched dream, perhaps. But so long as travelers like yourself happen to be passing through, that's one more person I can reach. The next time your stomach growls with hunger, I hope you'll consider answering with fresh nopales. These cacti are some of our best yet. I'm hoping to make a gift of them for the people living inside the dome. Very thoughtful of you. A sobering proposition. Unruly patrons have Yamewi at wit's end. Now what am I supposed to do? Say, you strike a rather imposing figure. Can I ask a favor of you? A few of our regulars have gotten a little too deep in their cups, and all their commotion is starting to turn away customers. They refuse to leave, and there's not much more I can do without stirring up trouble. Someone as intimidating as you, on the other hand, could get away with a great deal. In fact, I'd wager you could douse them with water, and they'd sooner go home than lift a finger against you. There's a well not far from here, if you'd be willing to try and sober them up. You guys don't have water on tap here? It's a fucking bar. Between you and me, they could all stand to take a bath anyway. Quick drenching with water from the well should bring them to their senses. You guys should really serve water. This is quite silly. Well, I mean, sure, you don't have to have a tap, but I have a couple of barrels of water or something. Alright, who are we dousing? Oh, look at this drunkard. Gloomy drunkard. No, no, no! I don't want to hear it. I don't pay you to talk. Now go and get my drink. Drink this, bitch. Bugger me with a Ronix horn. That's cold. What are you trying to do? Drown me? I'm too tired for this. I'm going home. Well water. Cold, refreshing water taken from the town well. Carefree drunkard. Hey, do you know what time it is? I suppose it doesn't matter. What was that for? Damn it. Now I need to go and get changed. He didn't seem too bad. Cheerful drunkard. Thankard, what are you doing? Come on, don't be shy. Just follow the rhythm and let your hips do the rest. Hey, what are you? And I was just getting warmed up. Oh God, so what time is it? The boss will kill me if I'm late again. Whee! Who the hell is Maui? Are you a hunter? To celebrate the town being safe again, the saloon keeper's been giving away meals at reduced cost. But now, he's running dangerously low on stock. Yeah, mais oui. I saw the whole thing. Thank you so much. They can get carried away sometimes after a few drinks, but they're good folk. Miners and railroad workers, a lot of them, as are most of the people who pass through here. After a long, grueling day, they'll often stop by and unwind for a good spell. It's only when they get a little too comfortable that it starts to become a problem. A problem for another day, thanks to you. I know it's not much, but I'd like you to have this. After all your help, it's the least I can offer. I realize there's only so much I can do working here as a waitress, but if I can help people forget their troubles for even a short while, that's good enough for me. A private delivery. The sight of you sets the wheels in Nicautene's head to turning. You're not from around here, are you? Maybe folks won't take notice if I sent a stranger instead. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a package I need delivered here to the saloon. Nothing unsavory, mind. But I need it kept safe from curious hands and prying eyes. If you'd be willing to help a desperate soul in need, make for the Tulayolal trailhead. A merchant should be there waiting, hopefully somewhere out of sight. I realize this is all rather sudden, but I can't think of any other way to see it delivered. You'll help me, won't you? Sure will. Nopalitenda. Where are you at? Unassuming merchant. Something you need? Nicautenes sent you, did he? All this trouble, and he couldn't be asked to pick it up himself. Well, it's his money, and a rather hefty sum at that. Ordered this beauty all the way from Urkapacha. He'd be understandably cross were anything to happen to that crate, so do be careful. Careful with the crate. Nicautene would be mighty sore were anything to happen to it. Clandestine crate. Deliver the clandestine crate to a discreet location behind the saloon in Husatawi before the time runs out. Bah! Da-da-da. I'll be back for you later, Hopu. Hopu. Gaming once again in 2024. Oh my god. At least the music in this zone is really good. Yeah. You arrive back at the saloon with the package safely in tow. Nicautene will be glad to hear both you and the crate are in one piece. Nicautene. It's done then? Good. Good. You can't tell anyone, but that package is a bottle of premium Pelu Pelu Mezcal. You can find Mezcal aplenty in Shaaloani, and I personally never thought much of the stuff. Until the Pelu Pelu changed things, that is. Story goes that a Pelu Pelu merchant visited one of their distilleries and complained about the poor quality of their wares. Gutted by the insult, the owner was fit to throw them out. Then they tried the merchant's mezcal. Wasn't long before the Pelu Pelu way of distilling was adopted and refined. And for me, it was love at first sip. If anyone were to see me here with a bottle, it'd be empty before I could pour myself a glass. But thanks to you, I'll be relaxing this evening with my favorite drink. Here, a little something for your trouble. It's been a relief to see the mood has improved around here. Hope you'll come back again soon for a nice meal. There's the snack. Only one? I thought he was giving two. Lame. Death by Popoto. Crop infestations are one thing, but what happens when crops are the infestation? Troubled civilian. Good evening to you, traveler. Heh, you look like you're no stranger to danger. If so, I got a job for you. Lately, we've been inundated with flying popotos. Don't let the name fool you. They're nasty little critters. We laid out some repellent a while back, but the effect seems to be wearing off. Ever since that enormous dome appeared, we've had all kinds of trouble to deal with, and I just can't find the time to lay down any repellents. That must be why those darn popotos have been showing up in droves. At this rate, the whole place will be overrun. I'd go out there and spread the repellent myself, but they'd make a meal of me lickety-split. Reckon you could take care of it for me? Oh, and the repellent doesn't take effect right away, so any flying popotos already there will probably need culling the old-fashioned way. If you could take care of that too, you'd be doing us all a huge favor. Shoot, last thing I want is my obituary is... Huh? Shoot, last thing I want in my obituary is... eaten by popotos. So much food-related questing. Making me hungry. Flying popoto repellents. Considered safe to sprinkle on crops despite being an anathema to airborne tubers. So this should spawn an enemy if the pattern persists. And this should be like the first one with no enemies. Repetition. Rise of Dragon. Troubled civilian. All done? That ought to keep him away for a while at least. You see, until we figured out how to make a repellent out of bitter-smelling juices, those popotos would wreak havoc on our crops. Eat our ronek. Heck, they'd even try to take a bite out of more than one of the residents. We tried asking the Dust Watch to come deal with them, but they didn't want to get involved in killing wild tubers. Setting up a perimeter fence was another option, only we're short on people and building materials. That's why we came up with the repellent. Anyway, I don't need to be chewing your ear off about all that. You've done us a good turn, and I won't soon forget it. But you will cease to exist, unless they bring you back and put a name on you, besides troubled civilian. Fruitful endeavors. Hesayo is seeking help with a fruitful endeavor. Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to be presumptuous, but you're one of those venturesome travelers I've heard so much about, aren't you? I'm looking for help procuring tuna. It's well loved by connoisseurs of fruit, but what I require is no ordinary tuna. No, the fruit I'm after comes from a particularly fruitful nopalitender. While I'd normally be happy to go out and hunt it for myself, they're as big as a house. I'd be stomped into the ground or impaled before I could even get close. If you're willing, take this powder and sprinkle it about in the field to the north of town. One of the bastards is sure to show up before long. I don't know why, but nopalitenders can't get enough of that powder. Sprinkle it about and they're sure to come running. Okay. Curious nopalitender powder, a blend of undisclosed ingredients designed to lure nopalitenders out of hiding. Hide in the bushes. Whoa! He's huge. Cool. A worthy opponent. Never mind. Damn. He was a big boy. Isayo. There you are. Any luck with the nopalitender? Succulent-looking tuna. A plump and juicy tuna taken from a gargantuan nopalitender. You actually did it! I've never seen such a juicy tuna. They're said to promote good health, you know. My parents would give them to me on special occasions when I was a kid, as it's believed they help fortify a child's constitution. In fact, I've heard the Shaaloani crushed up the stalks to use for weaning. As for why I hope to procure this rare treat, it's nearly my daughter's name day, and I thought this might cheer her up, considering all that's happened recently. I don't have much, but please, take this. You've more than earned it. Thanks. There's been a surprising increase in demand for tuna in Tuliolal. After everything they've been through, I'm sure they need more than we do. I'm sure they need them more than we do. Tuna, tuna. Delicious tuna. Waiting one's turn. After keeping merchants waiting to pass through, Hoppu now finds himself doing the waiting. Hoppu. Their number's up. They should be here by now. Say, you wouldn't happen to be on your way to Husatawi, would you? I have been charged with overseeing inspection of goods passing through to Tuliolal, and according to our list, we have 2 merchants who have yet to claim their wares. Due to the sheer volume, we offered them numbered vouchers that they might wait elsewhere while we look over their goods. I directed the pair to the saloon in Husatawi, but they've yet to return. I would be most grateful if you could speak with the saloon keeper, Nikautene, and find these merchants. Nikautene is certain to know where they are. When you find them, please tell them to come collect their wares. Saloon. Nikautene. Merchants waiting for inspection? Ah, yes, I know who you mean. One is a younger Hetsaro fellow with long red hair. You'll find him upstairs, hopefully not too deep in his cups. The other is a Gibral gentleman in green. Said something about seeking inspiration and went out back. The 2 you're looking for came in together, but they're not drinking together. The Hetsaro fellow you'll find upstairs. The Gibral gentleman is out back. Red-haired Hetsaro. Join me if you want, but this cup's mine. Inspection? I guess I overdid it with the food and mezcal. That was awful kind of them sending you here, though. I'm suddenly glad I paid the toll in advance. Well, I had better be off. Goodbye. Round back. Whoops. Dark-haired Gibral. Can I help you with something? Oh, is it time already? I was distracted by these crops. I trade mostly in Nopalitenda, you see, but I've been considering how best to expand my selection of wares. You're not like to make profit off aught else tilling such arid soil. Or so I thought. These crops caught my eye, and I had to come take a closer look. It seems I've yet more to learn about farming here in the wilds. Next time I'm in town, I'll need to have a word with whoever planted these. But for now, I should be heading back to the checkpoint. Yeah. Checkpoint. Reload. Action. Hopu. The merchants passed through to Tuliolal not long ago. Of course, it'll be a while yet before they reach the other side of Zorgor the Boundless. It was originally built by the Yokwi, you know, the sole bridge connecting Jaktural and Yoktural. Travelers such as yourself are free to cross as you please, so long as you carry a permit. It's when they mean to cross encumbered with wagons upon wagons of goods and supplies that things become complicated. Too many at once, and soon no one is able to cross at all. Our present solution is to impose a tax commensurate with the size of their cargo. And because of the time required to inspect said cargo, we occasionally send them to Husatawi to wait. It comes at the cost of occasionally hiring help to call them back here. But it's the least we can do for putting them through the hassle. Speaking of which, here, for your troubles. Smiles have returned to the faces of travelers and passers-by. Their elation is infectious, but I mustn't let my guard down. I have a job to do after all. Don't we all? Watching Big Brother. This is really the only quest in this town? I thought there'd be more. What a name. Luwateninyawausa. 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 Watching Big Brother. After all that traipsing around the desert, you finally have the chance to do something heroic. Concerned less. Please, somebody help. Me and my brother were cloud fishing, and we were attacked by a Yehehekeya. He told me to run, so I did, but he stayed behind to fight it. He's still down by the cliffs, and if you hurry, you'll make it in time. You'll go help him, won't you? Please, you have to save him. Okay. Those blasted pterodactyls. I see him. Wait, that's not the one. Kill all pterodactyls. What? Hey, go away. Strapping young lad, alright. Why is he gotta be strapping? Thank you. If you hadn't turned up when you did, I'd be a goner for sure. I'd better go let my sister know I'm alright. Besides, it ain't safe here, so I suggest you head back to town as well. Maybe I'll see you there? Maybe, winky face. Wee. So many dinosaurs. Concerned lass. You did it. My brother's alive and it's all because of you. Strapping young lad. Good to see you again. So my sister is the one who sent you to rescue me? Looks like I owe my life to both of you. Truth be told, a Yehehekeya is the last thing I expected to see. Never mind being attacked by one. They must have expanded their territory or something, so I'd better stay away from the cliff tops for a while. That said, we make our living off the creatures we catch there, so we can't give up cloud fishing altogether. I suppose the nearest safe spot would be somewhere near the bridge to Tuliolo, which is kind of far from here. Still, better than no fishing at all. Speaking of which, it's time to go snag us some more fish. Thanks again, friend. Stay safe out there, you hear? Yes, you too. Shishinawezi Springs. Alright, next town. Working on a full stomach. This young man has the furtive air of someone about to make an audacious request. Tazenia. Sorry to be a bother, but will you be passing through Luwateninyawausa anytime soon? I just came from there. My pa lives over that way, and I've been meaning to pay him a visit. But this job's keeping me busy. A little too busy. Anyway, I was hoping you could tell him from me, I'm doing fine and working hard. And let me know if there's anything you need. His name's Walkepe, and he works down at the kilns. I hate to impose, but I'd be real grateful if you could do me this favor. In spite of being a little long in the tooth, my pa works as hard as someone half his age, making sure there's a steady supply of decent pottery. I tell you what, I got a lot to live up to. I tell you what, man. I tell you what. Walkepe. Can I help you, stranger? My boy sent you all the way here to tell me that? Ha! I was just thinking of going to check up on him myself. So it looks like you saved me a trip. Well, it's good to know he's got steady work. He ain't being fired anyway, so he must be doing something right. You know, we're always eager to learn new ways of doing things, which is why my son threw himself into the cerulean business. Thing is, for those of us still living here, upholding our traditions, we worry that youngins like him are pushing themselves too hard to keep up with all this newfangled technology. I hope he's getting enough rest and eating right. That gives me an idea. Hate to burden you any further, but do you reckon you could take this food to my boy? I reckon a belly full of pemmican will do him more good than a lecture from his old man. I don't know what they're feeding him up at the refinery, but there's nothing quite like our traditional recipes. I bet that little taste of home will have him running back here for more. Zenia. Ah, you're back. Did you meet my pa? Pemmican. Containing dried meat and fruit, pemmican has long been a staple of Shaaloani cuisine. He sent you back here to He sent you back here to deliver this? As if I hadn't asked enough of you already. It's pemmican. Why, I used to practically live on this stuff back in Luataninya. This will give me enough strength for a whole day's work, and maybe another day's after that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all you've done for me. Now that the situation's calmed down some, I'm thinking of paying my pa over in Luataninya a visit. Once I finish up my work here, that is. Yes, keep staring at that box. A refined perspective. Of all the skills you expect to have tested, your knowledge of cerulean refineries is probably not one of them. Kapayote. Greetings to you. I can tell you ain't from around these parts, which is just dandy. You're from across the ocean, am I right? Not too far from the birthplace of cerulean technology, I'm guessing. Just so happens I got a little job needs taken care of, and you're the prime candidate. You see, we got plenty of equipment that either extracts or runs in cerulean, but most of it was only built a few years ago. Compared to folks around here, I bet someone who grew up around machines like these could spot all kinds of flaws and whatnot. Think you could take a look? Out here, keeping the equipment in top condition is a matter of life and death. So there's no need to mince your words on my account. Huh. Excess gas emissions. Excess ceruleum gas is expelled at regular intervals. This apparatus is working as intended. Derrick pump. The derrick pump is functioning correctly at present, but will probably deteriorate in a few years. Ceruleum barrels. Large wooden barrels are used to transport the ceruleum. Although these containers are secure enough, their immense size and weight are likely to cause problems. Kepayote. So, how did the inspection go? Don't go pulling any punches now. The derrick pump will probably need repairing in a few years. The valves expelling excess gas are working correctly. You should avoid putting the ceruleum into wooden barrels. Well, I mean, look, fuck, this is probably all they got, man. But hey, what else am I gonna say? I mean, that is, yeah, need repairing in a few years. Let's go with the barrels. You're right. The barrels are much too heavy. We use Ronek to transport the refined ceruleum, but the lighter the barrels, the less of a strain it will be on our animals. The derrick pump. Oh, okay, we're going through the list. The derrick pump will probably need repairing in a few years. I hear ya. Pretty much any of the moving parts are bound to undergo stress and strain. Even if they look fine now, there's still a high chance of breakage in the future. Valves expelling excess gas are working correctly. That's a relief. Considering how difficult they were to build, I'm glad they won't need repairing for a while. Well, in any case, I'm glad I asked for your help. Now all I gotta do is put your advice into action. Hate to admit it, but we still got a lot to learn about maintaining and improving our equipment. Still, thanks to you, we're another step closer to fulfilling our potential. Don't be a stranger, you hear? It's been hard, but we Turali are made of sterner stuff. Our rigs remain in one piece, but now I wonder if they can be improved. If ceruleum is the future, we should do all we can to be ready. Surprising source of fiber. If the townsfolk's entrepreneurial spirit could be bottled and sold, they would surely make a fortune. Refinery engineer. You're not from Tural, are you? I have a feeling your worldly experience will come in handy. As you may have noticed, we produce a lot of ceruleum here. But did you know that the resin that comes as a byproduct can be used to make carbon fiber? From what I hear, outfits woven from the stuff are all the rage over in Ilzabard. Hoping to keep up with the latest trends, we've made some of this fiber ourselves, and even made a set of work clothes from it. I was hoping you could act as our model. Once you're all dressed up, I'd like you to get the opinion of the Pelu Pelu cloth merchant down at the station, and find out if there's money to be made from such a design. Just let me know when you're ready. Alright then, let's get you dressed. Bear in mind it's something of a prototype, so don't worry if it looks a little rough around the edges. Wow, look at me. little little note. Hog. Looking good. Pelu cloth merchant. Can I help you? Carbon fiber cloth, you say? Originally developed by the Garleans, as I understand. And your garb is made from the same material. I see. It certainly looks very appealing. But there are more important factors to consider. Namely, durability and flexibility. Would you be so kind as to dance for me? Yes, you heard me correctly, dance. I merely wish to see the fabric in motion. As absurd as the request may seem, the Pelu cloth merchant wants you to demonstrate the qualities of your outfit by performing a dance for him. Perhaps I did not make myself clear. A simple dance is all that is required. Rest assured, the quality of your performance will not affect my evaluation of the outfit's suitability. Well, not much anyway. Hey. Look at me go. Very good. Robust enough to withstand such vigorous flailing, yet sufficiently flexible to maximize ease of movement. There was, however, one glaring flaw. The cloth appears to be susceptible to fraying, which could cause irritation when coming into contact with the skin. Even so, I imagine this material has its uses, provided such uses are carefully selected. Should it become possible to mass-produce the fiber, there is a high chance of similar wares turning a profit. Please pass on my regards to the designer, and tell them I would be willing to discuss this venture further. While the fiber is not without its problems, I would be a fool to ignore its potential benefits, not to mention the lucrative business opportunities they present. Refinery engineer. So, how did it go? But first things first, I'll be taking back the clothing samples, if it's all the same to you. He mentioned mass production, did he? As things stand, we'd have to make each item by hand, which is not only inefficient, but it means we'd need to charge a higher price. We'll need to look into simplifying the process. Come to think of it, we already rely on machines for all kinds of things, so why not this too? Of course, that would require a huge investment, but you have to spend money to make money, just like the railroad company did. Maybe we should take a leaf out of their book. I wonder if they'd be willing to invest in our enterprise. No harm in asking, I suppose. Oh, and thanks for your help, by the way. Bomb disposal. Apparently, highly flammable fuel sources and exploding monsters are a bad combination. Matzo. Where's a hunter when you need one? Right in front of you. Oh, hey there. Say, you seem like the wild critter wrangling type. What do you say to a little honest work? You see, down by the cerulean pits, we've got ourselves something of an infestation. Cerule bombs, to be precise. Now, with them being the flame-spewing explode at the drop of a hat sons of salamanders that they are, if even one got into our fuel supplies, this whole place will be blown sky high. Until recently, I've always had a hunter friend of mine keep their numbers down, but he's, temporarily incapacitated. I was thinking you could take his place. If so, there's a whole bunch of them a little ways south from here. Good hunting. If you're having trouble finding them, just wait by one of the cerulean pits, and they're sure to find you. More? Ah, it fell off. Matzo. All done? How many were there? Are you kidding? They must have invited every damn bum and his cousin to join the party. Sounds like you got there just in time. Of course, culling them the old-fashioned way is risky work, and it ain't easy finding someone with the necessary skills. I guess we'd better come up with a better plan to keep them at bay. In any case, you've done us all a good turn, friend. I just knew I'd picked the right guy for the job. This office is where we deal with all kinds of things relating to cerulean mining. Ever since the attack on Tuliolal, some of the workers went back to their hometowns, but they've slowly started returning. Open up. A tool tail. Though cerulean technology is all the rage, some dream of simpler times. Amiable worker. Well, look at you. Bold as brass, and twice as tough, I'd wager. Maybe you could help me out? See, I moved here a few years ago to get into the cerulean business, but before that, I worked as a miner over in Tunatenyawi. Back then, I had me a favorite pickaxe with Yahehekeya engraved into it. I figured I had no more use for it, so I left it behind. But with all the recent turmoil, I found myself pining for it, as a reminder of a time when life was simpler. I go back and get it myself if the whole place wasn't swarming with cutthroats. And that's where you come in. You look like you could hold your own, or at least manage to sneak in and grab the pickaxe before any of them notice you. Think you could give it a try? The pickaxe probably hasn't gone far, unless those bandits found a use for it. Now there's a worrying thought. This pickaxe does not have anything engraved into it, besides the usual scratches one might expect. Powder center pickaxe. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's try this one first. Although this pickaxe features an engraving, it depicts some sort of no-pallet cinder. This is not the pickaxe you were looking for. Yeah, pickaxe. This pickaxe is engraved with an image of a just as described. Amiable worker. Any luck finding my pickaxe? Engraved pickaxe. Bears an engraving of a mighty wings spread, though the multitude of scratches wrought through wear and tear obscure the image somewhat. Well, I'll be damned. That's it. Of course, now that mining is a thing of the past, I didn't think I'd ever need this thing again. But then I realized there might be a way to use the skills I learned as a miner in the ceruleum industry. And if I ever have a chance to swing a pickaxe in the future, there's none I'd rather turn to than my old favorite. Thanks for sticking your neck out and bringing it back to me. Melancholic worker. A grave matter. Your help is required in a rather sensitive undertaking. Say there, traveler. Did you come here from Eorzea by any chance? Yeah, how'd you know? Just as I thought. If it's not too much to ask, I could use your help. Truth is, I'm about to go pay my respects at a friend's grave, and I think he'd appreciate having someone from Eorzea giving a little prayer. It's not far from here, in a little cemetery on the outskirts of town. I'll wait for you there, and I promise I won't keep you long. Melancholic worker. Glad you could make it, truly. This here cemetery is the resting place of all kinds of folks. Those born and raised nearby are buried alongside those that came from far and wide. You see, my friend was a sailor from Eorzea. Well, to be more precise, he was a ship's engineer, and he came here to teach people how to operate a whole host of machinery. But even with proper training, it's a dangerous line of work, and he was killed in an accident. As you can imagine, we don't get a lot of folks from Eorzea here, and it would mean the world to me if someone from his homeland could offer him a prayer. What do you say? Now is the time to pay respect to a fellow traveler from Eorzea. Eorzean sailor's grave. Stand before the grave of the fallen Eorzean and pay respect. Huh. So that's the Eorzeans' honor. Oh, that's the way the So that's the way the Eorzeans honor their dead. Simple but beautiful. To tell the truth, I wanted to see it firsthand to learn how to do it myself. That's part of the reason I wanted to bring you here. I'm very grateful to you. I'm very grateful for you sharing this custom with me. From now on, whenever I come to offer him my prayers, I will remember what you have shown me. Four more. A mount with a view. Evidently, breathtaking views of the Shaaloani wilds are enough to make one forget their responsibilities. Railroad foreman. Hello there, traveler. Could I trouble you with something? My colleague hasn't showed up for her shift, you see. I figure she's daydreaming over on Mount Lozinsasaya again. I'd go fetch her back myself, but I can't leave the yard. Not when there's work to be done. Would you mind going in my stead? Mount Lozinsasaya's to the west of here. It's a great big boulder. You can't miss it. When you find my colleague, tell her she's needed back at the yard. Oh, and the view from the top of the mountain is incredible, so feel free to take in the scenery while you're at it. Tell my colleague I need her back on the job, and be sure to enjoy the view. Sightseeing log? I think I already got this one. Wow, she's actually on top of it. Oh, I haven't got this one. Cool. Speaking of something else. Railroad engineer. Can I help you with something? Get back to work. Oh, it's that time already, is it? Sorry you had to traipse all the way out here on account of me. It's so easy to lose yourself in this wonderful view. Why don't you take a moment to look around while you're up here? You can see all the way across the Shaaloani wilds from here. How about taking a moment to enjoy the scenery? Yeah. Damn it. Okay. Mount Lozinsasaya. The ancestors of the Tunawauta are said to have stood atop this rocky plateau, puffing on rolled tobacco, as they communed with the wind and the land. From this natural vantage point, one can see clear across Shaaloani to Zorgor the Boundless. Oh. You wanted me to look over here? Okay. Stunning, isn't it? The plains, the settlements, the great bridge to Tulialal, all in a single sweep of your gaze. True. This place has changed so much in the last few years. I know some find the transformation unsettling, but for me, I can't help but feel excited. Still, I don't want to forget the way things were before. That's why I come here so often, to commit the scenery to memory before it changes again. To tell you the truth, that dome showing up has put me on edge. But I think there'll come a day when I get used to the sight of it. I hope. Anyway, I better get back to work. Thanks for coming to check up on me. Please give my apologies to the foreman. So sleepy. Railroad foreman. Thanks for your help, traveler. My colleague got back a few moments ago. The engineer you spoke with, she's Tunawautan just like me. For those of us who call the plains home, Mount Lozinsasaya is a place of comfort. From that vantage point, our ancestors convened with the winds and the lands themselves. Perhaps my colleague was doing much the same. At any rate, she seemed bright-eyed and eager when she got back. Anyway, I ought to get back to my duties. Good luck out there on the road. Zopia. I understand Shense's enthusiasm for a new train, but I wish he wouldn't get so carried away with all his ideas. Where is the little bugger? There he is. Shense, I can hardly wait till we start building our next train. Oh, I've got so many ideas. Maybe we can build one that can travel underwater. Or one that can fly. Snakes on a train line. Just when you thought life in the desert could not be more unpleasant, along come the snakes. How goes it, friend? If you've got a moment to spare, I've got a little favor to ask. Just northwest of here, some of the railroad workers have been attacked by a pack of snakes. Aspies, to be exact. I know what you're thinking. Snakes don't hunt in packs, do they? Well, these do. And there's one particularly huge one that seems to be the ringleader. If you're willing, I want you to go out there and kill it. Take out the leader and the rest will get the message. Tricky part is, it usually stays hidden. So I recommend taking out a couple of the smaller ones to get its attention. When you're done, bring me proof of the kill, would you? Not only are Aspies venomous, but they're damned big besides. Watch yourself out there. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking train. You bastard. Railroad Inspector. Glad to see you in one piece. So, got any snake bits to show me? Bits. Elder Aspen remains. Even an untrained eye could tell that these remains once belonged to an enormous specimen. Would you look at that? This must have belonged to a real whopper. I reckon we could even use this to make it an anti-venom. If someone gets themselves bit, it might even save their life. You know, I almost hate to say it, but if there's any more of that snake still out there, we could sell its skin for leather. We can even eat its meat, which is surprisingly tasty. This might even end up being a good source of revenue for the company. I'd better hurry though, or the other desert critters will leave me nothing but the bones. Thanks for the help. What a weird interaction. Two more. Geppetto. The air about you has changed somehow. You've ventured to a strange yet extraordinary place, haven't you? Truly, the life of an adventurer is a wondrous thing. Yeah, kid. Quato. There is no denying that change has come to Shaaloani. It falls to us to embrace it and learn to bend with this new blown wind. Tawe, what do you think it's like inside the dome? I visited Shaaloani once when I was little, but I can't imagine it's the same now. The horns that bind us. The stern Hetsaru has something both pointy and poignant for you to deliver. Hail, traveler. If you're bound for Husatawi, I have a favor to ask. Could I get you to deliver this polished horn to my sister? You'll find her tending the field on the outskirts of town. She shouldn't be hard to recognize. We have the same hair color. Please make sure that polished horn gets to my sister in Husatawi. Keep an eye out for a Hetsaru farmer with the same color hair as me. Spirited Hetsaru. Aha! What can I do for you? Polished horn. This horn ornament has been polished within an inch of its life, yet remains perilously pointy. Ah, this horn. I knew the day would come, but it's sad to think he's no longer with us. I appreciate the delivery nonetheless. I hate to ask any more of you, but there's something I want to give my sister in return. Harvest a handful of vegetables from that plant and take them to her, would you? I know I ought to do it myself, but the crops won't tend themselves. Anyway, tell her that I'll come and visit soon. What do you think this is, man? Shit. I don't want any goddamn vegetables. Stern Hetsaru. Welcome back, traveler. Ah, but what is this? What is that you have there? Fresh vegetables. Nurtured in accordance with Hetsaru agriculture rule know-how, these fresh, juicy vegetables are ripe and ready to bequeath to a stern sibling. So fresh and plump. These look delicious. Clearly my sister's been hard at work. I suppose you're wondering why I had you deliver that horn. It came from an old Ronek bull that recently passed away. He was our Hetsu, one of many creatures we Hetsaru seek guidance from throughout our lives. My sister and I, our souls are bound together through that Ronek. So too in death, as much as in life. One horn I gave to my sister, the other horn I keep with me. It struck me as a fitting symbol of the connection. I'm sure she understood. She may have moved to Husatawi, but she still had sorrow. Nothing will ever change that. Anyway, judging by your message, I can expect a visit from her any day now. I should prepare a feast to welcome her back home. Thank you, traveler. We sisters were fortunate to have met you. Thank you. It's nice to be appreciated. A little appreciation goes a long way. It truly does. It's a terrible ring to lose. Perhaps irreplaceable rings should not be taken on fishing trips. Impetuous youth. Sorry to trouble you, but how good are you at diving? I'm great. What? You can breathe underwater? In that case, you're everything I'd hoped for. Better, in fact. Alright, here's the embarrassing part. While I was fishing, I somehow managed to drop an irreplaceable ring into the lake. I scrambled to catch it before it sank, but it was too late. I tried diving in to search for it, only to find the lake is far too deep. I can't hold my breath long enough to reach the bottom, never mind find a ring while I'm down there. Please, help me get back my precious dusk ring. It's actually paired with another. It's Dawn ring. An enchantment changes their stones blue when close, and red when, close-ish. In other words, you can use the stone's color to find my lost dusk ring. It'd mean the color to me. It'd mean the world to me if you could bring it back. Also the color. Oh, and be careful not to lose the Dawn ring in the lake. Finding one ring is hard enough. Never mind two. I'm gonna throw it away. Whee! Use the Dawn ring. Using the Dawn ring, search for the dusk ring. Dawn ring, one of an enchanted pair. This ring glows when near its counterpart. Ring does not respond. The dusk ring must be in another location entirely. Alright. The Dawn ring glows red. You must be somewhat near to the dusk ring. Oh yeah? What about over here? Still red. Faint blue. Ooh. Where are you? Ah. What? Am I supposed to be able to actually see it? Ooh. Ah. Very good. We got it. Impetuous youth. You found it? I can't believe it. Before I go getting all giddy with excitement, could I have both rings, please? Dawn ring. One of an enchanted pair. This ring glows when near to its counterpart. Dusk ring. This piece of jewelry is so precious that a certain impetuous youth took it on a fishing trip and dropped it into the water. Perhaps it would be safer sitting in your inventory. This is it. My dusk ring. I don't know how to thank you. Now I can finally propose to my beloved. The tale passed down in my family tells of a man, one of our ancestors, who crafted the dawn and dusk rings to express his heart's desire to his true love. The magical bond that exists between the two rings joins them as a pair, much like dawn and dusk themselves. Ever since, these rings have become the traditional gifts given in our marriage proposals. And now, my time has finally arrived. I'll never forget what you've done for me. I'll be sure to tell my future children all about it, and my children's children. Yes. Yes! Ugh, that's Shaaloani done. Another area done. Heritage found. Then solution 9. And then living memory. 3 more. But for now, GG's.